Hi, I'm Jenny Teeters, author of Every Day is a New Day, A Story of Faith. And I thought, similar to Love Island, I would pull you in for a chat and just share a few things on my mind that might help you in this brand new beginning of a new year. In thinking back to this time last year, I was starting off for the first time not in a corporate environment. So I had left my corporate role. And it was also kind of an exit of 30 years in corporate leadership, 9 to 5, which was often like 7 to 7 or 9 to 9. But that notwithstanding, in terms of boundaries and lots of hours that we work in corporate life. And I was moving into entrepreneurship. And I had spent a long time while working full time planning. So I had published my story of recovery. Every day is a new day, a story of faith. I'd achieved a couple of coaching certifications so that for life and business coaching, I had a lot of tools in my tool belt. I'd spent some time, working with clients and seeing the fruits of that and building the belief in myself that I would be able to make a living, make a living doing something that was not working for a large organization. And throughout this journey, a lot of what has been on my mind, which is also a fear, I'll tell you as well, is my purpose. So I only have a limited time on this planet. You have a limited time on this planet. And I had this weird fear of like, I'm expired from the planet and it's judgment day for Jenny. And like, did I get it wrong? Was I here for something different than what I'd been spending my time and energy on? So it's been quite a wonderful journey to work past that fear, and to recognize for me, and this is what I work with my clients on as well, whether they're starting businesses, are they're leaders, what they're doing in their life, their vocation, starting something new, is that we all have amazing talents and we have gifts and we are really, well, like really that's a silly way to say unique, like extremely unique. We're precious immortal beings. And so tapping a little bit more into what are my strengths, what are your strengths, what do I value could be very different than what you value. Who do I click with? What kind of organizations do I want to work with? What kind of people do I want to work with? Where do I want to volunteer? So I really just started to think more about my energy and my time and how I'm spending that, and also some natural ability that I've been given, some natural gifts that I've been given, some strengths that I've had, things that I've, when I'm occupied doing them, what makes me just completely lose track of time and being in complete enjoyment. And it's been really fun to discover that over the course of the last few years and working with other people and discovering more about myself. So I no longer have the fear like, am I on the right track or not? Because every day is a day to discover and be creative. It's sitting in fear was not the right track at all. So it's been really fun. And one thing I do want to share that was on my mind when leaving the corporate world is I imagine I'm very visionary and I do lots of mental rehearsal. I do lots of visualization. And I imagine like a stream. And I thought, okay, I love variety. In a workplace, I was always on multiple projects, on multiple teams every day. There's like multiple work streams moving forward. So I thought in my own business life, I can do the same thing. I can have multiple streams of things going on at the same time to keep things interesting, to keep me growing, to have variety and spice in my life. But the things I imagined, I thought, okay, if there's somebody else's product or service that I really love, perhaps I could be a referral partner or affiliate and generate income based on some helping somebody else with what they've already built, and that would be one way. I love to teach, I love to train, I love to build. So what kind of classes and content could I create on my own that other people would find of value? So I've created many courses over the course of the last year. Some I offered for free, some I offered for a fee. I've done many different workshops. I align myself to a couple of organizations that I have a heart for serving. So I've been able to, through like a long time volunteering for one organization, then was offered a position to be their fractional chief operating officer. So that's been really wonderful because it keeps me grounded. It keeps me very much looking at their tech stack, looking at the leadership flow, looking at initiatives, looking at global growth, all these things I really love to do. Um, there is another group where I got certified to train one of their offerings. And so I just really love this company and I love their team. I love their CEO. I love the trajectory that they're on. So just to be, just have a slice of being part of their team, a very tiny part, and one of their offers that I really love to deliver around building trust within organizations and with partner communities. So it's kind of also staying a little bit tied to channel still, which is where I left. But I just want to say that I've been laid off before. You may have been laid off or maybe are in that season. And that is an incredible opportunity to look at our career capital and look at our strengths and look at the things we love and approach organizations that have something that we are really drawn to. Because being on the opposite side of that, in fear of like, who will look at my resume? Oh my gosh, I've sent so many applications in, and the AI isn't, matching up my resume with this opportunity. One thing I did a lot of this last year more than ever was reach out to people that I'd worked with in the past to catch up and say hi. And some of these turned into mentee-mentor relationships. Some of them turned into quarterly check-ins just to stay in touch. So I had intentionally done that. Of course, in my working career, everyone knows networking is a good idea, but networking for the joy of meeting somebody who I've never met before and saying, here's what I'm doing and what are you doing? And maybe there's some synergy or there's something I know about or a book I've read, something that can help somebody else out, and vice versa. So I ultimately want to offer you this message of hope that wherever you're at, if it's a new beginning, you're in the middle of learning hard lessons, you're stuck in fear, you are just not sure what the next step is, or you are like, sky's the limit. Yes, the sky is the limit. We only have so much time here, and we want to feel fulfilled, and not really live in this kind of state of anxiousness and fear. So I left last year. Left my corporate job with a lot of ideas and some pressure to earn. I definitely had some runway and had some opportunities to keep the lights on here in our little house in South Carolina, along with my husband. And so we'd made some changes until we could, work things back to the way they were, what was normal for us, I guess, financially. But I left burnt out. So I left burnt out with this expectation that I could like actually have all the energy to start all these new streams all at the same time. It didn't quite work out that way. So if you have a break, whether that's a forced break or you need a break, take that break because you deserve to be happy and be energized and excited about what you're doing. And if what you're doing doesn't energize you, it's not exciting to you, it is not fulfilling to you, you're not able to find like some kind of like higher purpose or goal, why you're here and who you're here to help. It's really worth reflecting on that, and then maybe bringing things into your life that will help satisfy that. There is that concept of ikigai, which I remember a manager at Zoom Video Communications. He shared this with me. I had like this small version of it, like what am I good at? What do I love to do? And kind of who can I serve? And how can those things intersect? And he introduced me to a much more well-known concept. Um, but when I have volunteered, many volunteer positions have turned into some kind of business consulting. Even there's a nearby church that I'm getting spiritual direction from, and the spiritual director asked me, Jenny, do you know anything about communications or know anyone who does communications? And he didn't know that I love communications. And so I've been of service in this little church out in the country, helping with their social media and helping when they've got a pancake breakfast or they've got a spaghetti fundraiser or they've got something going on in their community, just to help them frame up how they get their communications out. So as an entrepreneur, I love the variety. I love tying myself to people with these great big visions and kind of being a part of their momentum. What I've never been good at is like, Jenny, choose one thing to focus on. That is not who I am. But if that is who you are, that's amazing. That is an amazing skill. And there might be someone who needs you to focus on that one thing and help carry that one thing forward. So all of these thoughts have been swirling in my mind. So I wanted to pull you in for a little chat and just offer you, in summary, take some time for yourself, take some time to daydream, take some time to reflect, envision yourself doing things that you really enjoy. If it's really hard for you to get away to do them, at least in your mind, find a beautiful setting and let your mind run free in that space, even if you don't have the time to go and experience that or the money to experience it. Our subconscious cannot tell the difference between real life and imaginary life, and so just our bodies will still benefit from that wonderful excursion that we can take it on frequently. So God bless you. Happy New Year, and would love to hear about your dreams and what you're working on. So I love to talk to people about what they're doing and share what I'm doing. And like I said, see if there's any synergy. I love networking for just this authentic connection that we can have between us, because the world is a small place. And chances are there's somebody that I know that can help you, somebody that you know that can help me. So let's stay connected. God bless you.